Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. Hello, peoples. Well, it is definitely a cold one. We're about 12 here, it looks like, and it's like Minnesota's -3 with -15 wind chill, and -8 in Montana, -4. Where are you, Diego? -40. That's exciting. Oh, that's Ken. Yep, Kevin. Sorry, Kevin. So, greetings, everybody. Pizza loving nerd. Yo, Kevin. Hello there. Diego, I believe you left, though. But anyway, if you come back, greetings. Isaiah, hello there. And Daniel, how's it going? And Keegan the Tennessean, hello there. Yes, finally made it to a live one. We should be doing another live one tomorrow about 5. I'm planning on it. A tin foil hat time. I have the topic on my desktop, but I forget what it is off the top. What up, pizza loving nerd? I got my tea. Cheers, dude. Mandarin blood orange. That's what I'm drinking for tea today. Kind of exciting. All right, let's see. Did anyone else count down the timer? I know I was. That was exciting. And greetings, Ryan. Hello. KO2610 and Mitchell Morrison. Hello from Phoenix. Phoenix, can we have some of your warm air? I assume it's warmer there than it is most places. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, we are in for the news tonight, and we're going to be talking about this Apple Snafu. There's not a lot of other news yet. You know, the whole world has not yet ground back to work. I think maybe it got to Christmas and froze. I know up in Erie, Pennsylvania, it was declared a state of emergency. They got like, I think it was ended up being like 62 inches over 2 days. That's a lot of snow. I guess, though, I didn't include in the Apple Snafu, but whoever designs the Apple stores in Chicago forgot that Chicago actually gets snow sometimes. And they had a giant ice, like a giant bunch of deadly icicles hanging from the roof of the Apple store in Chicago, so they had to close it because it was just too dangerous to be near. So, hey, that's kind of exciting stuff, isn't it? Well, we're going to be looking at some news topics today. I have found a couple of articles in Scary Tech. I have some articles in security and a few articles in planned obsolescence. And the Apple articles were originally in planned obsolescence, but I moved them closer to the front of the program here today so that it's not, you know, we don't have too much. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump on into it. So let's head on over there to some news. Of course, I need Scary Tech. I don't want that one. I want my Scary Tech. There you go. There's my Scary Tech screen. All right. So with Scary Tech, the new Surface Pros with LTE for an always connected experience. That's just what we need. Microsoft Windows 10 always connected. Yeah, my Windows 10 computer that I keep around for development reasons, like I haven't booted into it in 3 months. Yeah, I actually went into the thing and pulled out the wireless card so it's not nefariously connecting because I just don't trust it. It can connect when I hardwire it into the router. That's about the time it can connect. An always connected Windows 10 computer is, for me, the kind of the definition of freaky. So that's kind of that. So anyway, though, you can head on over there to the Microsoft store, pay way too much money for a glued together piece of crap computer. I don't know, these guys are like duplicating all of Apple's methodology on creating products, which is not a good thing necessarily. With their always connected devices. Yes, here's my Surface Pro. It's always connected. So it can perpetually spy on you even when you're nowhere near Wi-Fi. Yay, Windows 10. Windows 10 just rocks, doesn't it? Of course, in other scary news, Instagram. Of course, you know, Instagram, the new Facebook. You know, Facebook's dying out because there's nothing over there except hate and politics and business marketing. And everyone's like leaving it in droves. Because it's like, yeah, it's not even worth being on Facebook. So people are jumping on Instagram. So now, of course, Facebook owns Instagram, so I wouldn't have either one of them. And then what happens now is they're just starting to do all of those wonderful things. This last couple months, I don't know. I've never had an Instagram account. But the last couple of months, I believe, they moved it from the old sequential thing on Facebook. I mean, that's the days that I had a Facebook account. That's what I did. I mean, I like going on there, you know, a few times a week, maybe a time a day or so, maybe twice a day, actually. I don't know. I don't remember. And you'd see a nice sequential listing of everything, and it caused a lot of problems and outrage, really, when they went from this timeline feed, which is what people wanted, to this algorithmic feed. And the problem is with these algorithmic feeds is that you end up with a circumstance where it feeds you what it thinks you want to see, not what's there. Like, I followed 5 people so I could get the updates from the 5 people, not all the crap from all the businesses that you think I want to see. That's not why I go to Facebook. All right, so now, of course, Instagram is starting to die in the same way. They have taken out the sequential feed in Instagram and they've added in an algorithmic feed instead. The very thing that probably is one of those things that killed Facebook, so they decided to do that. And now they're going to start putting recommended for you. Yes, that is right. Now you will start getting ads thrown to you inside of Instagram. How awesome. So the injection of recommended content is a fairly big change for Instagram feed, probably one of the largest since the switch from chronological feed to the algorithmic feed, or the introduction of ads. Oh, God. Like, these are the things that kill the social media platforms. Not that I'm big into social media anyway. I really don't care for social media. But the problem is, you start doing all this algorithmic crap, and it just becomes this giant cesspool for your own echo chamber. And that's exactly what we don't need. That's what leads us to this 50-50 exact split down the middle. I am so surprised we do not have a civil war in our country, and it is these morons' faults. So yeah, Instagram, way to go, Instagram. Instagram kind of starts to suck. In other scary news, SoftBank now acquires a 20% stake in Uber. Why is the question? I mean, like, if I were an investing company, I think Uber might be one of the ones I'd stay away from. You generally don't want to buy into large amounts of stake in companies that are perpetually surrounded and encumbered in lawsuits. I've lost track. I think they got, I don't know, 15, 20 lawsuits. But something about this, though, is interesting. With this merger, they get an extra few seats on the board, which basically means they're basically diluting out Travis Kalanick's voting power. Because while Travis Kalanick is not any longer the president of the company, or the CEO of the company, whatever he was, founder and CEO, he's no longer in that position. He is still the most influential board member in there. So all the people are like, yay, Uber got rid of their stupid CEO. No, they didn't. He's still on the board with more power than anyone else. But what happens is that the board will go from 11 people to 17 people. 2 of those seats will be SoftBank seats. Now, the scarier thing yet is how big SoftBank is. Of course, they started as a small software company, but then what happened is they just spread out all over the place. And pretty much what happens is with SoftBank is they own so many things right now. It's quite frightening, quite scary. So that is your SoftBank. So they now own 20% in Uber. That is quite exciting. And oh boy, what's next? Robocalls. Robocall industry is getting too large. What happened is last year there are 4.5 million complaints. Now, let's not to kick a dead horse while it's already gone. But net neutrality. One of the things FCC is trying to do is say, well, we're just going to take our control and give it to the FTC because they have the ability to do something. Guys, this is so bad. Okay. Realize that the FCC is the most neutered government organization. First is they don't have any authority to set any rules or boundaries. They can only interpret the laws that are there. Of course, net neutrality, neutering got rid of all of those rules, so there really aren't many. The only thing they have to do now is disclose when they're going to do all of their stuff. All right? And then after, then the FTC then can only act when enough people complain. Somebody actually has to be wronged before this happens. So in this case, what happens is the FTC had 4.5 million complaints from robocallers last year. All right. Here is the problem with this. We have the ability for spoofed numbers. That is the one thing that needs to go away. All right. Spoofed numbers need to go away. And the reason is spoof numbers need to go away is there are extremely few reasons for them. There are like a whopping 2 or 3 maybe legitimate reasons to spoof your phone number, and all of them have to do with collecting bills from deadbeats who won't pay you. We're going to protect the the credit card collectors. No, that's not a class of deadbeats we need to be protecting. We need to be protecting the 4.5 billion people, the 4.5 million people who have received robocalls. Do you know how annoying this is, people? Do you know how annoying this is? On this phone, I get multiple of these people a day spoofing the calls, randomly robocalling me. I scared the kitty. I happen to have my number on the federal and the do not call lists. Okay, that's what I happen to have. It's on both of those lists. I still get multiple calls every single day from illegal robocallers, and there's nothing I can do about it. Nothing. The FCC is neutered. I file complaints with the attorneys generals. They can do nothing about it. Nobody can seem to do anything about any of these things. Let's just do one thing, people. One thing. Block spoofed numbers. That's it. It gets rid of the problem. And you get your 3 people with a protected reason to spoof the number. Let them figure out another way. There's no reason. We do not need the ability to spoof calls when there's 4.5 million annual robocall complaints, and they never stop. They never stop. You can't get these people to stop. This is a problem. This is a huge problem. Here's your breakdown. 4.5 million robocallers, 2.5 illegal callers, 92,000 unreported. What is that? 4, 5, 6. This is 7 million illegal calls to the FTC where people are illegally calling people that are on the federal and the state do not call lists. You really think the FTC actually has the ability to police net neutrality? Not in your life. Not on your life. Oh boy. Oh boy. And the last scary news, who's this? OkCupid, dating site. No, whatever. OkCupid decides that they're going to remove usernames. Everyone has to sign in with the site now with their real name. Like, this is the, like, okay. Do you remember back in that day where we'd be like, what spawned all these crazy usernames? Well, what spawned all these crazy usernames was the fact that you know, we had this thing when the internet first started that we kind of knew that the internet connectivity means that not only can we access the world, but the world has access to us. And so we had a heart and a mind towards privacy. And a heart and a mind towards privacy, what we would do is we would hide our true identity behind a username. And that is an appropriate way to go. But your sites like social media sites, your Facebooks, your, you know, other sites like this, they start being like, use your real name. Use your real name on there. You got to use your real name. In fact, it's a violation of the terms if you don't use your real name on Facebook. You could actually be criminally prosecuted if you didn't use your real name on Facebook. And so now what's happening is they're saying, hey, we're removing usernames. And of course they do it like any PR company would do, where they're just poking a lot of fun with it. They're making fun of all of these crazy usernames. Okay, I'm sorry, Dorito Princess XO. You have to give us your real name now. You know why? You know, on a dating site, this is the greatest motivation to not ever use your real name. Because not only are there psychopaths in the field of dating, when you enter the realm of online dating, you are dealing with a whole wide new level of psychopath. You will introduce crazy on top of crazy. And the last thing I want, if I happen to be using a dating site, which I don't, is to have somebody that I'm just fielding out there to figure out who I really am. Because one guy figured out real quick that they had this going on, and then they closed the thing down, only have a message on Facebook. because the person on OkCupid knew who they were. Can you imagine that? Cyber stalking, cyberbullying is a major, major problem. All they're doing is taking an already greatened place of having those things happen and then amplifying it 1,000 times. Oh God, this is going to be crazy. Of course, they're making fun of all these things. They have some nice lists down here: cat people versus dog people. Kitty, kitty. That's right, kitty. Look at that, 88,000 people. 88. 88,000 people have cat or cats in their username, but only 138,000 people dogs. Dirty words? Ooh, I'm not going to read any of those dirty words in case I get demonetized. There's actually dirtier ones than that. And then, of course, I have no idea why they picked this out, but ICP. I don't have no idea why they pulled out ICP in this list. Of course, that's Insane Clown Posse, if you're unaware, which has connections to do with Juggalo and Juggalette, I guess. So there's 11,000 names referencing ICP. I have no idea why they put ICP out of this, but okay, whatever. So of course they're pretty much, you know, making fun of all these things, but I don't know. That's what do you think, guys? If you wanted to use a dating site, would you want people to know your real name when you're just kind of fielding out the weirdos? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down there. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Greetings, Carbon Programmer. Does anyone know how to get images and videos off an iPhone on Linux? It shows up and picks to text the images, but the files don't show up. Pizza11 Nerd on Linux Mint. I just plug it right in, and you should actually get 2 pop-ups on there. If you don't get 2 pop-ups, then you may not have the iPhone drivers, and go into Synaptic and you can find them. Just do an internet search for which ones they are. But then you should basically just get the ability to open it up, and you can drag files from the phone, but you can't put files on the phone. Because Apple's stupid. So that's kind of what you would do with that. All right, switched planes there in high school. I was headed up to my River Hood, Oregon to meet my stepdad's family. Enjoyed what little bit I saw in Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix isn't too bad. All right, definitely different than Smoky Mountains. Yes, it is. All these companies that collect data are no good. That is correct. Computer isn't working, so I'm on my dad's. Your computer stopped working. All right, cut here. Oh, cut here. Always connected device can be used as a surveillance tool. That's exactly why they're pushing this as a great thing. Yay, an always connected Windows 10 device. Scary. I wrote a virus for Linux Mint to prove to my friend that Linux and Unix can get viruses. I mistakenly ran it and programmed it to overwrite grub. Don't worry, my virus doesn't spread. Yeah, yeah, viruses do actually work on Linux. In fact, there's a lot of them out there. Yeah, reinstalling grub, that's pretty easy, so not a big deal. China, there's a surveillance system that keeps track of everything you do outside and tracks your every move in the real world. Even has your biometric data. Yep, that's scary. I'll use Facebook to chat with friends and family. Knows all of your friends and acquaintances. You have to make stupid mistakes to get a virus on Linux. Yeah, I like installing one to show your friends. Oh, boy. Same surveillance system can help the police detain you nearly instantly. Yep, to prove to my friend that it's possible. I know. China is a lot like Oceania. There is a dumbed-down form of Chinese language called Simplified Chinese. The government censors everything, and you always are being watched. Yep. Scary place. Let's all go take a field trip to Oceania. What do you think? Should we all go to Oceania sometime? Sometimes you may end up being called by someone on a private number. Yep. Who disliked? I actually, there's a stalker that follows all my channels and dislikes every single video. I'm pretty sure it's the same person. But yeah, there's somebody comes through and dislikes every video I do, no matter what. That's okay. Hi. Hi, my dislikey friend. It's all good. Welcome to the internet. Only people who spoof calls are robocallers and stalkers and criminals. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, yes, there may be one or two legitimate reasons to be able to spoof a phone number. All right, they are not worth the mass amounts of abuse. This is like, it's called throwing out the baby with the bathwater. All right, just get rid of that ability and then have this very simple ability. I should have the ability to go to my carrier and say, block international phone calls. That's it. Get rid of spoof numbers and block international phone calls. That's what we need to do. Just do those two things. Because if I have somebody international wants to talk to me, yeah, we got lots of VoIP. We can figure something out to chat, you know, or I can allow certain calls in, whatever else. But that way, the morons down there and right off the coast, a stone's throw from jurisdiction, right across the bay from the Florida Keys, will stop calling me then. And it would instantly stop the problems. But no, that would actually make sense. And we cannot possibly expect, you know, a government to actually do anything that makes sense. Private numbers that hide real numbers by not even revealing the number. Yep, calling it by all zeros. Yep. My neighbor got one asking if she was in Secret Service and asking for her name and mysterious, almost Batman-like voice. She hung up. You answer yes. Come on. Remember that scene from Ghostbusters? If somebody asked if you were a god, you say yes. Okay? Someone asks if you're in CIA, you say yes. All right. Switched accounts. Well, welcome back, Pizza Loving Nerd. James Miller, good evening to you, sir. Hope you're staying warm. Yeah, I'm trying. It ain't like Isaiah Briggs likes. All right, that's good. All right, let's go ahead and chat about this Apple-y snafu-iness. Apple-y snafu-iness. So, of course, if you are living under a rock, of course, I talked about this with TOS last week, but Apple, of course, they have this giant phone fiasco wherein I think it was 10.2.1, I believe, iOS 10.2.1, they would start to slow down and throttle your phone if you happen to have a phone that was about a year old. Consequently, that's about, you know, how old the thing would be if you didn't upgrade your phone. And the reason is they're like, well, it's because the battery isn't working right. And the thing is, the problem, I think, is that they're making the phones rely too heavily on too charge of a battery. And you don't want to do that. But what's happening is it has inspired all sorts of conspiracy that says, yeah, they're actually just doing it to do it. And in reality, it's better if you to buy a replacement battery. The problem, of course, with the iPhones is you can't replace them easily yourself. I mean, it's a matter of taking out your two absolute nano screws with a very proprietary screw head down there at the bottom of the device. You know, you got to take those little two screws out. I don't think that's going to focus, but you can take those two screws out there with a very proprietary device, and then at which point in time you you can pull the thing up, pull the screen up, and swap out the battery that way. It's not super hard to do, but, you know, you could risk breaking something if you just open your phone up and do that. And so, but the problem is that they were silently doing this and throttling the phone without giving any warning. And that in and of itself caused a lot of problems and challenges. And so with that, they got hit with a ton of lawsuits here in the States. I think there's like 3 major ones. And in response to this, Apple has done a couple of little things. One of those things is that, oh, we're going to drop the out-of-warranty battery replacement fee from $79 to $29. So that's good. You can now get your battery done. The second thing they're actually going to be doing is pushing out another software update to give you a status on your battery. I don't think they're giving you the option to say, hey, don't throttle my processor or not. But what they are doing is they are giving you battery life indicator indicating how strong your battery is. Of course, that probably, grab my tinfoil hat here, because what they're probably going to be doing with that is it's probably merely going to be a circumstance where it's just like the ink cartridges and printers. Yeah, it's running low, man. You gotta replace this. Yeah. You open the thing up and it's half full still. It's like, what? Of course, the printer doesn't print anymore, so you know. So those are the things going on. But the more serious one is actually in France. France actually has planned obsolescence laws. It is actually illegal in France to plan for your device to break down early. It is against the law. We need that here in the States. It'd probably help us. But in response to this, this one organization, which is basically an organization to stop planned obsolescence, is suing them under the planned obsolescence law in France. And so what's happening here is this is actually a criminal lawsuit. So Apple being faced by a criminal lawsuit, now there's a challenge. Of course, since they're coming back and saying, oh, you know, whoops, we're going to go ahead and talk about how these age and what we did and recent user feedback. We're addressing customers' concerns. Yeah. They'll probably get off scot-free, probably pass a few million under the table over there as some judge, but who knows? It's Apple. What can we do? And so in reality, that's the situation, is that if you do have an iPhone and you're updated beyond iOS 10.2.1, then your phone, your processor may be throttled. They are working on a feature added to an 11.3 or 11.2 something, 11.2x update down the road, which is going to give you a status of your battery rather than just completely throttling it for no reason. It's going to basically indicate if your battery is going to need replaced. Of course, it probably always will. And then at which point in time, then what's going to happen then is that you can get the replacement battery for $29. And of course, you still have to send the phone back out to them, whatever else. But even that's like, you know, just make the phone with replaceable batteries. You know, I do not like phones that don't have the replaceable batteries. Unfortunately, you know, even my Nexus, the battery's not replaceable. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So that's kind of the Apple snafu. Okay, Fix Scrub, gonna make YouTube vid on the virus. Be careful though, Pizza Lovin' Nerd, because, you know, doing one such video, actually, it very well may give you a huge strike against your YouTube channel, so you might not want to release it. But it could also raise some eyebrows with people like, oh, it's a young hacker, you know. So be careful, dude. But, you know. Brian the Computer Geek, greetings. Hi, Tom. Isn't it amazing how a so-called cybersecurity aware society can totally mess up cybersecurity? Yeah, that happens. What are you thinking of in particular? How much did I miss until now? We are 28 minutes in at this point in time, so I think you just missed the first 5 articles, I think, George. I think that's pronounced George. Anyway, so greetings. 13-year-old stepson is an Apple fanboy because of his aunt and friends. Anytime I show his this stuff, he instantly tries to defend them. I mean, come on, though. If he's got the latest iOS version, your 13-year-old son could just snap photos randomly, go into the pictures thing, type bra in the search function, it'll show him all of the pictures with a breast. Come on. Apple. That's just dumb. But anyway, yeah, you know. Dad is an Apple fanboy. My stepdad is a Microsoft fanboy. Oh boy, I bet those family dynamics are great. You got to get those two to get in the same room sometime. I just use Debian Linux. Yeah. I'm actually running Linux Mint KDE behind me now. I got sick of Debian for a bit. Dad used to work for Apple. Sister is the same way, defending Apple. You know, Carbon says never own an Apple device. I actually went to the iPhones. Like, I had an Android phone. My first Android phone I got in 2012, and I liked it. It was pretty cool. And it had a replaceable battery. Get that. What would happen then is I wanted to experiment with other systems. Actually, I was looking for a tablet first, and I was able to get. I couldn't find a new Android tablet that was decent, but I found a used iPad. And I got that. I'm like, holy crap, this is good. And so it was the iPad that really showed me the power of iOS. And so I got an iPhone because my Android phone was acting up. And, you know, I loved iPhones since then. They were good systems. I don't think they're good any longer. There was an article, in fact, on The Verge, and I didn't pull it in today, but it's asking the question on, is Apple losing its quality control? And I think it's a resounding yes. I mean, releasing a major OS version with an empty root password to overrun anything, yeah, that's loss of quality control. That is so egregious, it's not even funny. And then just all of these little things. And so, you know, the Apple devices were good. They're not good anymore. You know, they were worth the extra cost. Right now, they're excessively expensive still. In fact, they're getting more excessively expensive. And they're getting crappier. And the UI is getting worse. And the quality control is getting worse. There's no reason to buy Apple anymore. On top of that, it's just so hard to get files on and off of the thing. I think they're making that a little easier, though, in the latest iOS. I think they're now putting a file manager on it, if I remember correctly. Always use Android or a variant thereof. Apple, what can you do? Don't buy an iPhone or anything else Apple. Yeah, I'm done with them. Once this iPhone's done, I'm done with them. Apple devices can get viruses. Yes, they can. Rug Monkey, greetings. Alright, I don't actually have a mobile phone, even though they can be useful. The annoyances far outweigh the benefits for me. Yeah, I can see that. Apple fanboys defend the brand because they are well studied by Apple and know how to get into their brains to make them feel comfortable with their enclosure and environment they provide. It's convenient. Hey, not really. Not anymore. It's actually more. Apple is always, for me, it's always been inconvenient because I don't like automated systems. I hated the fact that to manage music, I needed to do it through iTunes. Could not stand that. Actually, that's why I run VLC, because with VLC hooked up to my media server, I can actually go into VLC and download anything I want on my media server without having to ever plug that in. In fact, I have a general policy in this office. My iPhone never gets plugged into my Mac. I don't want the Mac to know I own an iPhone or vice versa. Just no interest in that. So the times when I had to have done things on iTunes, I'll install iTunes on a Windows computer. That's what I would use. Debian is good because once you install it, you can customize it whatever you need. Most, if not all, Apple fanboys are not informed people, and many of them are dumb in the matter of technology. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if I'd fully agree with that, but certainly parts. Hello, Sakis Fracas. Okay. I've been using Mint XFCE 18.3 for 11 months and 0 issues. Yep. I don't have many problems with Mint. That's why I use it. It's a simple package manager. Linux machine should last me another 5 to 10 years. Yep. 16 gigs of RAM. Sweet. Apple Store's the best package manager. The Apple Store is the best package manager. I don't like the Apple Store. 1 terabyte hard drive and 500 gigabit hard drive. Okay. Hello, Sonny. How are you? AMD processor, Radeon graphics card. Dropped my new phone. Now I got to pay like $1,000. 2017. Dropped my phone. Now I literally have to pay $1,000. Thanks, Apple. Yeah. Hello, Shatter. How are you? A bit of Linux gaming by Linus on his second YouTube channel. Oh, cool. Well, welcome, Sonny Douglas is new here. Say hello to everyone. Sephinix, hello. How much longer are you going to stream? I have about 5 or 6 articles left. So that for me usually means about, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe-ish. Somewhere around there. I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. Who knows? When the articles run dry and the comments run dry, that's when I stop. Okay, Debian also comes with a reference guide installed. That's cool. So the gaming on Linux from Linus too. Is that Linus Tech Tips or another Linus? Okay, Debian has almost failed me with schoolwork. Yeah, I can say I do have a few small problems with my Debian system, but for the most part, I like it. You've got to be wearing contacts. Why do I have to be wearing contacts? I legally can't be an Apple fanboy because I can't fit into skinny jeans. All right. Let's let's see. I think next on our list is our security. Where's my security? All right. So next we're talking some security stuff. So security, if you are using Thunderbird, update it if you haven't already. Of course, this only affects Windows. Those of us on Linux, we don't have much problems with this. But there is a critical buffer overflow vulnerability affecting Windows users, and it has been fixed. So here you can actually get on and read this article here. There's a little bit about some. They fixed several different issues with the system, and the last ones that were fixed were considered very high, basically JavaScript exploiting, affecting the RSS reader capabilities. I don't know much about this bug, but if you are using Thunderbird on a Windows computer, make sure you run the update. That would be exciting. Of course, if you're on Windows, this hacking group has figured out how to get around the hello. Is it Hello Windows? Is it? Hello whatever, hello spybot, so basically they take the image and they run it through some IR filtering, and they can actually trick this. Now they said that this is it affects a vulnerability or like an issue with the older version systems. So the newer technology, this will not spoof. However, not all systems have the hardware to accept the newer capabilities. So if you have a new machine with the greatest tech and the latest updates, this hack would not work. However, the on this system here, what would happen is a lot of your systems, they can allow you to bypass your Hello Windows. So if you happen to be using Hello Window facial recognition, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? But anyway, it is some security news. Just be aware of that there is potentially a way around the facial stuff. Especially important because it's it is very easy to snap someone's photo or grab their information online. Of course, this is a good one here. Sonos and Bose speakers have been hacked recently. Of course, duh. Internet devices on the internet. What do you think was going to happen? Yeah, they will get hacked indeed. So basically, they've been hacking these, and I think mostly just testing them with ghostly creaks and moans. Kind of cool though. It's like I'd set a bunch of these guys up around the house, just open them up on the internet, let the hackers do them, just simply so I can get some eerie haunted house effects. I mean, that's what I'd want to do with these. But in all seriousness, once again, internet-powered devices. They said there was one model here specifically that was pretty much always affected, and any other ones that were open to the internet with a port forwarding would also be open. So yeah, this is actually, I think, a map of the targeted regions. So 2,000 to 5,000 devices online, depending on the times of the scans, between 400 and 500 Bose devices. So that is upwards of 5,500 devices compromised. And you know that this is just a quick ping test. Let's see if we can do that. Once you get into that, now you can get in there, do other weird stuff, install bad servers on that thing and spread it on anywhere else. A lot of problems and issues and challenges with this. So once again, just a warning, guys, keep these IoT things off of the internet. Really, we don't have a real big need for these. Oh boy. Let's go to the kitty comments this time. Kitty comments? Yeah. Alright, let's see. Isaiah, let's see. Linux gaming growing fast, very impressed. Tom, do you use Nest Server? Okay, you know what, Sonny? I actually have been experimenting with Nest Server on here, and there's components of it I can't get to work. I would like to. I want to get it working, and it's kind of on my list. But in fact, I have on this computer here, I have a Nest Server installed on the VirtualBox, but I've not ever been able to get the thing to work right, and so I'm still working through that. So I can't really help with anything. I'm still exploring those items. I need to get into a new, I'm guessing, top lap. Is that an upside down laptop? Mostly works compared to Windows. Need a new pot pal. Okay. Linus's second channel. Tech Quickie. Okay. Yeah, I think once we get a lot more mainstream to gaming on Linux, we're going to have a lot better of a situation going on. So that's something to that's good. Good news. Good news for the Linux gamers. And I'm not one of them. I just don't play many games, so whatever. Windows is having a problem with malware and hackers. Windows has always had a problem with malware and hackers. Greetings, Anna Rita. How are you? Just finished eating dinner. Mr. Rom. Oh, hello. Slow James. Hello, Tom. I was wondering if you know of faster FTP client for Linux Mint than FileZilla. Actually, FileZilla is about as fast as you're going to get. What limits you is where your server is at. So, you know, like if I'm doing server transfers to an AWS install, an AWS cloud server with FileZilla, like transfers occur instantly because AWS is wicked fast. But if you're on a hosting system, your hosting platforms could be slowing it down. Your internet connection could be slowing it down. So, no, if your FileZilla is running slow, I would start investigating what your host is. If you can tell me what your host is, I can comment on if that's the problem or not. Oh, Chinese hackers. At least it's not the Russian hackers. Want a big wall of text? No, not really. Facial recognition is another tool for surveillance. Yes, it is. Should make a whole live on Snap and Flatpak. We need more information. You know, maybe I should. I should go in and research those and get all of the ins and outs and all those. A lot of time for me is I don't have a ton of time to invest in a lot of heavy research. And it's simply a matter of I have so many things that I'm doing, I just can't stop and do that at all the times. Facial recognition is bad if get into a bar fight and your face is messed up. Yes, and hello, Total OS today. How's it going there? Boy, I lost my place. There we are. All right. Okay. There are bars that are using facial recognition to identify teenagers. Huh, that's cool. Portugal, well, a little downtown in Lisbon, but Lisbon used to be easier for people. Okay. I have 4 kittens running, ruining around, 5 weeks old. Running around, I'm guessing. All right. Man FTP. Greetings, Johnny. IoT devices, same as Apple products. People who buy them as normal consumers are not well-informed people, and most of who buy them are for the whole environment they provide and are dumb. Yeah, I mean, I definitely haven't bought Apple for the whole environment. In fact, like I said, I don't like my Apple products to know that other Apple products are in existence. They just do goofy things when they work together, and I just, you know, I watched too much Terminator growing up. I'm just worried that Skynet's gonna plop out of an Apple computer someday, and so, yeah, I mean, I never bought them for how easy it is to move stuff around because, frankly, I find it excessively hard unless you want to do it the way Apple wants to do it, and I oftentimes don't want to do it the way Apple wants to do it. So, you know. Teen uses fake ID to enter facial recognition, finds teenagers and alerts police. You're under arrest for underage drinking. Alright, teen goes to jail. Greetings, Lamer Linux. Yeah, you're about 40 minutes late. Kitty is having a nap. Yeah, that kitty's always having a nap. I prefer Apple Image better than Snap or Flat... Oh, App Image better than Snap or Flatpak. Off topic. At least I can convince one of my cousins, never used one before, to give a try on OpenShot or Kden Live. Oh, used to be a Windows user. Okay, that's good. Yeah, get them to use something else. All right, just a couple small planned obsolescence articles here to wrap this guy up. So what's up with WhatsApp? So WhatsApp on BlackBerry or Windows Phone. Some features may not work on these platforms in 2018. You know, as much as I'm not for planned obsolescence, if you're on BlackBerry and a Windows Phone, it might be time to upgrade phones. I don't know. Of course, I had a BlackBerry Z10. Oh, that was the worst operating system on a phone I've ever seen in my life. There was that time when they were trying to develop their own smartphone operating system. Oh, it was an abominable nightmare. Somehow they managed to nuke all of my contacts out of Verizon's cloud. I am not sure. That's an accomplishment, to say the least, but that's the case. Anyway, though, so basically, if you have WhatsApp, you can't update to the latest versions after December 31st. So any new features will not be existent there. Of course, if you still have it, if you still have the older version, then it will continue to work at least until Microsoft or whatever else decides to kill stuff. Because, you know, that seems to be what's going on. Of course, WhatsApp is a Facebook company, I think, right? I believe they're a Facebook company. You know, the biggest challenge with that, of course, with Microsoft, you know, Skype was working perfectly fine on this Linux computer back here behind me. Until they decided that, like, we're just going to kill it on for you. And then none of the other previews would work, and so I had to get on there. And actually, I am on the Skype preview, which does seem to work for me, but I don't know. Kind of crazy. And then, of course, with this YouTube and Amazon fight, YouTube app has been deactivated on the Fire 4 days early. So the end of the year, I think January 1st or so, you can no longer use the YouTube app on your Amazon Fire TV. It's like, this is why, guys, for my smart TV type thing, yeah, I have an old dumb TV and a Raspberry Pi running open source media center. That's all I need. That's all I need. I don't need any of this crap. You know, because this is the problem, because, you know, what if they decide one day that XYZ other service needs to go away and now you can't use it? What if the Fire TV is your only means of watching YouTube videos? Now you can't watch YouTube videos. This is the problem with all these things, and why we need more open source and less DRM stuff all over the place. So if you have this, you might be greeted with this message. Oh, you can visit youtube.com with Silk or with Firefox. I'm not sure if that's a better or a worse experience. I know on Kodi, accessing a web browser to view YouTube does not work well, but there is a YouTube app, which is good. And so that's, yeah, planned obsolescence at its finest. At its finest. All right, let's see. Looks like we're going to wrap this guy up a little early, I think. Okay, well, Apple is a sneaky and evil company who lies and lies, so there. Yep, pretty much. Anything they can do to extract you and separate you from your money for them. That's what their idea is. App Image is for basic portable software system, which is what I like, but a little concerned about the security. Yeah, I'll have to look into all of those. An apple a day keeps the privacy away. Nice. Only Apple product I bought was an iPod Touch in the last generation. I was wanting to try the iPhones because I was getting tired of Android. Yeah, I went back to Android, and I like Android way better. You can defeat facial recognition by learning how to alter your cheekbones with a little makeup and hats and fake glasses. Yeah, you know, I actually don't go out in public without a hat anymore. And I've never used to be a hat person, but I do not like going out in the world without a hat anymore. It's just, and maybe sunglasses too if I can. You know, it's just, I don't trust that the grocery stores aren't tracking who I am and what I'm looking at, you know, and whatever else. So it's just getting to be that kind of world where, I don't know. Heads of OpenSUSE likes App Image better. They run on Sandbox. You don't need anything else installed. Planned obsolescence, mostly what affects pre-built Windows machines and Apple devices. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's why Linux is just so much more powerful. You can take the thing that Windows is trying to get rid of, and you can go ahead and get it to work. You know, just no big deal. But with Windows or Apple, man, you're like, yeah, no, it's time. We declare it's time for you to buy a new computer. Oh, you don't have $1,000? That's okay. We'll finance it. Linux does not have planned obsolescence. I had a Z10 actually sitting right beside me, dead. Yeah, that's the one. That was the one. The BlackBerry Z10. Of all of the smartphone operating systems, I actually like the Windows the best. I really thought that the way the Windows did their smartphone UI and everything, I thought it was one of the best ones. Too bad the thing was too buggy to actually use. And yeah, that whole being Microsoft thing. Yeah. Pre-built machines are better because they last longer. Yeah, and another thing is if a pre-built machine, you can swap components. Can't use the YouTube app on Fire TV, but if you got Kodi, you can. Yes, you can. Just jailbreak the Fire Stick and add Kodi. Yep, there you go. Yeah, Firefox will be on Fire TV. You gotta put WaterFox on it so it puts the fire out. You can build a mini custom-built machine, and traditional television would be a lot better than a smart TV. That's the thing, is I don't trust that the smart TVs aren't spying on you. But I do trust if I build a Raspberry Pi open source media center, it'll probably be a better option for me. Build a mini custom, let's see, I already did that one. 4K video rendering filmed on the iPhone. Cool. Okay, the problem with such Android devices is the remote control. If you break the control, the device is useless. What do you mean? Like, wait, the problem with such Android devices. What do you mean, Johnny? I might have a comment for that, but I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. I wish I had an Android phone, not a freaking iPhone. Yeah, actually, there's two Pixel 6Ps here in State College on Craigslist for like $200 each. Tom, my wife says you need a shave, but then again, many women like beards. Well, yeah, my electric razor needed charged, and I forgot to shave before the show, so, you know. Game console, you can also build a custom PC and have a controller plugged in. Yep. Will there be a Linux phone in the future? Steve Anderson, it does look like the Librem 5 phone from Purism is a go. So I think they're releasing in January 19, I think is what I remember. They're like $600. They have manual kill switches for your cellular, your data, your camera and microphone, things like that. So it's actually a pretty cool idea. A little out of my price range, but it'd be kind of neat because they run true Linux and you have the option of Plasma Mobile. You'll have the Ubuntu Touch. Or you'll have a Debian with GNOME on it as your defaults. And so, yeah, the Linux phone in theory is coming, and hopefully once that proves a success, hopefully more developers will be able to get true Linux on other phones as well, because what I don't like about the Purism is that there's only one company manufacturing it right now. Of course, it's very early. So hopefully when that takes off, more market competition comes up and we get the ability to run Linux on a whole lot more phones. But the first one should be coming in about a year. Hated the iPod Touch because of the lack of customization. Now I love Android. Linux is superior to all other operating systems except Unix. I always jailbreak my iPad. Not saying Unix is superior, both are good. No jailbreak came out for 10 or 11. Yep, that's one of the challenges. But KDE team is making the Plasma Mobile, and a different company is doing it too. Yeah, the good thing about the Librem is it's actually bringing the UB ports, which has taken over the Ubuntu Touch, and the Plasma Mobile team and the Librem team are all coming together to help. And I think that that's going to help all three platforms, which would be kind of cool. Okay, App Image doesn't mess around with the system in the sandbox. Downside, it consumes more RAM, but I actually like it better. That's a neat way to do things, though. So I don't know. I'll have to look into all three of those a little bit more and see. Gaming on Linux just got better, but I also switched what type of games I play. I don't play mindless military FPS games to anything like Super Evil DLC or microtransactions. Only good microtransactions like. Did Microsoft say they were stopping the Windows Phone? Yes, the Windows Phone has died. Epson printers will refuse to work after printing 1,000 pages. That is planned obsolescence. Yep. Probably what happened, I have an Epson printer sitting over here, and it doesn't work. It doesn't print anymore, but the scanner works great. So I keep it on for the scanner for now. Overwatch and games that last more than 2 years, so no COD. I actually like it for the zombies, so I choose games that are from developers that care about the players. Yeah, and that's the way to go. Like, no tucks, no bucks is a good gaming philosophy. I mean, that's just the way to do it. Oh, good thing about Linux game developers, they generally don't port games to Linux for payday. They don't port it because they don't care about the games and the players. Now the only thing I use Windows for is Overwatch. What else do I use Raspberry Pi for personally? I have a RetroPie build. I use it for a Kodi Media Center, and I use it for a VPN right now. And I don't know, there's some other things I'd like to do with it. I'd like to actually experiment with a Raspberry Pi for an Open Media Vault. I know it works for that. Currently, I'm running my Open Media Vault on an old Dell Inspiron PC. But I'd kind of like to experiment with that if I can. I'm just not sure if it's the most viable thing out there, but kind of neat. Kind of neat to see. Yeah, but those are my current uses. Unix was the operating system to go to. Linux is now the go-to OS. Should make a cake to say goodbye to the old year. I could make a cake to say goodbye to the old year. I made some pudding today. Does that count? I had a friend with a really old computer. He installed Linux on it, but he updated the kernel and bricked his PC. The kernel doesn't work on his system anymore, so he's running Debian 6, who said planned obsolescence wasn't on Linux. Well, it depends on the hardware, but you know, you don't have to upgrade the kernel too, by the way. So got to figure out what the goal is. And the thing is that, you know, depending on your operating system, though, some of them will force you to upgrade it. I like Linux Mint because I have the option to if I want to, but it's not something that I have to do. The issue with WaterFox is it only works on 64-bit systems. If you have an older 32 one, you're out of luck. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Pale Moon, you can do that. Kid damaged the control of the Nexus TV. Now, oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I'm not sure how the Nexus TV works. You might be able to use one of the universal type remotes on it. I don't know, but I'm not sure about that one. Ubuntu Touch was discontinued. Well, the thing though, Pizza Loving Nerd, is that UB Ports picked up the project and ran with it. So Ubuntu stopped working on the Ubuntu phone, but UB Ports picked it up, and they're still developing with it. Yeah, wait till Linux phone drops in price, then buy one for cheap. Yep. Debian is by default stable, but can be switched to unstable. Never been happier with Linux. Yep. Couldn't downgrade my iPad to jailbreak it, so I sold it and felt all warm inside. The more companies start making Linux phones, the more affordable it'll become, especially for countries like mine, where $1 costs more than 22 times. Yeah, and that's what we need is, you know, it's great that they're doing it, and I'll support the project that far, but I won't be putting any money into it at this point in time, because it's just, it's one company, and the phone is more like, you know, I have both of my active smartphones. I paid less than $500 for both of them together, and they're a Nexus 5X and an iPhone SE. I know how to hunt for deals, so I'm not about to drop $600 on a new phone. But as soon as we get more companies coming out to drop the price, that's when I'm going to do it. Everyone is freaking out about ransomware while I'm sitting on Linux doing my work. Yeah, I mean, just got to also make sure you just have, you know, offline backups. That's what you need to get around ransomware. Ubuntu basically, but free from Ubuntu's bloat. Okay. There goes my Lumina Windows phone. I think it'll still work. You just won't get any updates or anything. Lots of games were originally developed on Linux, i.e. Quake. Yeah. I would do no tux, no bucks, but I bought all my games when I had Windows. So it's about 80% of my Steam library is bought. Okay, that's fine, but just don't buy more. That's the way no tux, no bucks works. Nobody's saying dump what you have that works. What we're saying is stop supporting the companies financially who won't support the Linux systems. That's the thing to look into. You know, but if you got, you know, if you have stuff that you like, keep working with the stuff that you like. Tom, did you receive a mini PC from a user? Or you use it, and if so, for what? I did receive a mini PC, and it is actually, probably can't see it, but way back there above the kitty. It is back there and kind of in the middle of the screen there, and it's the gray box. It is a pfSense router. So that one is the Fitlet X. I think it's the Fitlet XA10, I think, if I remember correctly. Beautiful, beautiful pfSense router that does all sorts of fun, exciting things. So that's what I'm using it for. Make a cake on live stream would be difficult for you. What do you think? I can't do it before the new year. The problem I have right here is that there are about 30 different wireless networks in the system, and so I do not get, even in my office, I don't get good connectivity, especially considering that my pfSense router, the only thing I have right now is just a wireless adapter. And pfSense does not have N drivers for pretty much anything, and so I'm kind of stuck with a BG internet connection on that. And to do a live stream cake, I'd actually have to do it from the other room. It is on my list of things to pick up a wireless access point. When I do that, I'll be able to actually stream from the other computer in the other room, which that one is also capable of streaming from. I pretty much have 2 computers in the office here capable of streaming. And the other one I can't do at this point in time because I don't have the wireless internet capabilities in the office. I have enough for basic wireless stuff, but not for streaming. But I could do it next year whenever I figure out the time to get an access point. The software has not been planned. The hardware may be. Nexus player, yeah. Okay, I have some old CPUs, but all of them are on the latest kernel. Many of the computers that have Unix OS are still running today like when they first started. Asus Tinker is a better choice if you're in a Raspberry Pi. It gets more RAM. That might be one to look into. My 2-year-old smiles when he sees your cat. A 4-month-old isn't sure what to think. Kitty, kitty. You're being smiled at. Switch to link. Can you DM me your PayPal email? I can't do Patreon because I don't have a credit card. Actually, Pizza Loving Nerd, if you go right on my YouTube channel, there is a direct PayPal link right there. Let me see if I can find it over here. You can lay down, kitty. Or you can stare at the camera. I think people like that too. Really? I didn't know that, kitty. Want to say anything else to the viewers out there? He's like, yeah, when are you going to get me my temptations for the day? All right. So here, right on my channel page, over here are the websites. So this is my web design business, Patreon. But right here is actually a PayPal link. So if you are a person who wants to support with that, apparently I got to go back and do something different. That should work. Maybe it doesn't work. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I'll DM that to you. I'll look into why that's not working. I have no idea what's going on with my PayPal link. It might be something with this particular computer as well, but I did not know that was not working. So I'll go ahead and DM you that. Sure. All right, let's see. Debian was released in the 90s. I don't know much about Slackware or Gentoo. Can you show one of your Raspberry Pi setups on cam? I actually have a few different videos in my archive about the things I've set up before. I don't know if I have other videos about what I've done. Actually, I think the VPN one might be genuine. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. But I can show... I know I have videos about how to do a open source media center on on videos on that. I have videos on the tutorial for VPN creation. I don't have one on the RetroPie. Is that a Strock 11 window next to the router? That is a it's a surfboard, whatever one that is. Gigabit modem. It's my cable modem. Wife just said her friend watched your videos as she was recommended you, and her friend said she would date you. Too bad you're US. I'm becoming famous. Woohoo! I run my Windows games. I just don't buy them. There you go. You can install Linux on as many computers as you want. You need different license for each Windows machine. Yep. Wine Tricks, or Poll if they're supported for that game. Yeah, the only games that I generally play are supported in Wine. So, that's good. My cat sleeps on my bed. Yep, mine does too. You know an OS is good when it lasts more than a decade. Yeah, I have no idea how that PayPal link expired. I'll look into correcting that. Custom built PC, which used to run Windows 7, is now running Linux and still getting updates. Smile, CJ. Alexa is watching you. Hey, CJ, your girlfriend's watching. Your girlfriend's watching you. Lead us not into temptations. Oh, the kitty's going to be led into temptations very soon here. Debian is being run by many companies. Even NASA is running Debian. As long as it's NASA, not the NSA, right? Okay, to get more games on Linux Steam, it takes 30%. They could offer more developers to port Linux the first year. So instead of developers get 70, they get 85 to port to Linux. That'd be good. Hello, Rose. How are you? Slackware is the mother of all Linux distros, then Debian. Yep. I'm new to Linux Mint. Is it necessary to learn the terminal? It would be good to start learning some basics, but the good thing about Linux Mint is you don't generally have to learn the terminal unless you're doing something crazy advanced. Pretty much anything else you don't need to. It'd be good to get in there and just start tinkering with it a little bit, but you don't really have to if you're running Linux Mint. They pretty much take care of everything in the UI. And welcome to Linux Mint, by the way. Okay, Debian is being used on the International Space Station. Sweet. I never knew Slackware was the origin. Donate 1. Well, I appreciate that, man. That's cool. Thank you. Okay, Debian is the origin of Ubuntu, Linux Mint, Kali, etc. Can I post a link? If I can figure out how to let you post a link. And I can go ahead and make you a moderator. I think you can post a link now if you're a moderator. Have you tried Iridium browser? I have not tried Iridium browser yet. Rose, my Linux buddy. All right. Okay. Linux Mint, almost everything could be done on the GUI, but better. Yeah, like I said, I like Linux Mint because it allows you to do everything you need to do in the GUI, but you have the flexibility of doing the terminal if you need to. Lamer, you should watch Tom's Walk in Faith. Yeah, I have, let me pull up that other channel. All right. So here is my other channel. It's Our Walk in Christ, and I do weekly Bible studies. I took a break off, obviously, for the Christmas time, but I'm doing an in-depth Bible studies on the basics of the foundations of the Christian faith. Then I do live streams on Thursdays at 9 o'clock, and then I will do daily walk videos, which are just kind of short little philosophical ones. Occasionally I'll do a classic, something from the classic genres, and so there's a lot of things out there on this channel here. I also have details. I have 2 books there. You can get information. I think I have a lot of information on the new book out there. I don't have a ton of information on the old book. I should probably do some more of those soon. But you can check out this channel as well. I run Mint, but I think running the terminal is fun. Yeah, you get things done in the terminal faster if you know how to do it. Just posting this, I found it on Reddit. Pretty cool. Copy link address. So it's let's see, built a modern Raspberry Pi arcade. That's awesome. That's cool. So it's all powered by Raspberry Pi. Okay, that's cool. Love it. That's awesome. Cool. I'm gonna pull you off moderator for now. Just okay, Pizza Love Nerd terminal's fun to use, but with my age, remembering codes is with the old memory. Okay, how do you use hex chat? I'm not familiar with that. Is it something worth looking into? I've used Pigeon. I think hex chat is similar. I'll have to go and look into that a little bit more. Nowadays, most of the desktop Linux distros came with graphical user interface software, so most problems are solved. I know you're 12 and I'm jealous. The topic is your brother Tim also Christian like you, or is his religion is metal? I believe he is an anti-theist, actually. No, we're about as opposite as we can become on nearly every topic, actually. I behaved. Yes, you did. All right. Well, I think I reached the bottom of the comments. I reached the bottom of everything else. Pizza Lovin' Nerd, I will PM you the my direct PayPal, and I'll see about fixing that as well. I'm not sure why that link is expired, but I did not know that that was expired, so I'll have to go and do that. I'm getting more comments, and no, you're not letting me go yet, huh? Not letting me go yet. All right, I'll stick around. I became more Christian-minded after a near-death experience a few years ago. Well, I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad it brought you close to God. That's good. Hey, Switch Linux, have you seen the memes of Linux? I have not. You're an atheist. Okay, it doesn't look like this channel needs a mod anyway. No, I think the users take care of themselves for the most part. But actually, when it gets bigger and I have a ton more people in here, then yeah, I'm probably going to start picking and choosing some moderators. All right, let's go ahead and end this stream like I like we should be ending streams, and let's go on and let's move the kitty into Temptations. Oh, kitty. Say bye-byes, peoples? Bye-byes, peoples. Their finger looking good, aren't they? All right, let's see if there's any final comments on here before we wrap this guy up. Quid sub, all right. Tom Brothers, cool and funny sense of humor. Yep, I can't spell atheist. Atheist, I think you're trying to say. It's A-I. I can't spell it either. Oh, it's just A, yeah. A-T-H, yeah, okay. I can't spell either, all right. I was about to watch Total OS live stream. I think he's jumping on here if he's not already on, I think. Okay, I can imagine those family reunions getting contrary opinions. Tell him that crazy metalhead from Mexico sends you some greetings. I will do that. I will do that. You need the cat. Kitty. Hey, Kitty, would you like to move with someone else? All right. If I happen to expire before the kitty, I hereby bequeath it to you, Cyphex. That's right. After he eats my corpse, of course. Let's move the kitty into Temptations. Looks at the camera. Yep. Upgrade to a dog. No, I do not like dogs. Me and dogs don't get along. I wish I get paid like CJ for being cute and eating treats. Yep. Yes, Happy New Year, Shutter. Am I doing a live stream tomorrow? Yes, I will be doing a live stream tomorrow. Tinfoil hat time tomorrow, 5 o'clock. That is the goal. If that changes, I will update it on the channel, but I'm pretty sure. Have Bees subscribed for a while. Linux Laptop Friday for 4 years. Be on BDL with us tomorrow night. It's 2018 predictions. I do not know the answer to that. I have no idea. CJ is mine. First to get in. Okay, well, in that case, I don't have to feed the cat. All right, folks. Yeah, I'm going to jump over to TOS myself, I think. And I think actually I'm going to go grab my Raspberry Pi and play some games while we're doing it. So I'm in the mood for a little bit of that light relaxing. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching. And we will catch you guys on the flip side.